Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Tonight we'll be doing a little bit of stamping for my live. But before we get into that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the Wide Bay region of Queensland, Australia. And oh, I forgot what I was going to say now. So last week for the Christmas Stampathon, the June challenge for that is floral. So I decided that I would stamp an 8x8 wreath and then cut it down to create these 4 cards. And tonight we will be doing that again. I just wanted to show you that stamping this way, Ruth Trice Artful Stampin' Style, is a great way of stamping if you need to create a lot of cards in a short amount of time. So I will say a quick hello to everyone who has joined me so far. Whoa, hang on a moment. I need to turn that sound off. Sorry, guys. Hello, Sharon, all the way from WA. Thank you so much. Oh, stop. Thank you. For some reason, my sound kept... See, now it's done doing it again. My sound isn't staying off, and I'm not sure what's going on my laptop. I have my laptop here so I can see comments. So, yep, that's off. That's off. Right. Okay, so yes, 4 cards from an 8x8 wreath. This is what we're doing tonight. Now, I will make a disclaimer. Stamping this way tends to be quite product heavy, mainly because you're not going to get a perfect stamp set that has everything you need in one stamp set. So for that reason alone, tonight I will actually be using 6 stamp sets to create my stamped sheet. I'll put them over here out the road. These are what we'll be using. Well, these are what I've grabbed out. Merriest Moments, which is a returning favourite, which is in the... Oh, have I got that here somewhere? Yes, I do. It's a returning favourite in the July to December mini catalogue. This will be out for the public on the 1st of July. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a copy, please message me and I can put one for you in the mail. But if you already have a demonstrator, please talk to whoever you go to regularly, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out. But in the meantime, 6 stamp sets that I think that we'll be using tonight, maybe not. But anyway, Merriest Moments, which is a returning favourite in that new mini catalogue. Simply, I'll be wanting to use these 3 holly leaves and possibly even this nice fluffy leaf down here. Simply fabulous. I'm pulling out these lovely trio of leaves here. Framed occasions, I think I will probably use this one here. Not too sure about this, but I think I'm going to use this pine cone image to set down a background, and maybe even these. Now this image here matches in with the holly leaves here to give it a little bit dimension. It's a two-step stamp, but you know, it makes great foliage in a different way. True Beauty, I'll be using this floral image here, and Dahlia Days, these little trio of flowers here. Now this stamp set unfortunately will be leaving us at the end of June, but I love this stamp, this trio of flowers here, and I also love these foliage stamps. I've used this stamp set for those stamps quite a lot in my simple stamping one sheet wonders. Okay, I'll put them out the road. Oh, let me see. Colors. These are the colors. Soft Seafoam. This is what I think I'll be using to create a just a really light coloured background. Cherry Cobbler for my flowers. Sahara Sand to lay down the initial foliage. Mint Macaron. Shaded Spruce, Evening Evergreen, and Balmy Blue, just to add a little bit of brightness to the whole thing. I love adding blue to my Christmas stamping. Now, to start with, I'm going to take a piece of A4. For those of you in the US, your card is a little bit different to ours here in Australia, but I'm going to trim it down so it measures 8 by 8. If you're in the US, I think your cardstock measures, oh, you might get an 8.5 maybe, or 8.5. So you could easily cut your cardstock down to 8.5 by 8.5. And now I'm going to get, where are my cards? What I realized when I stamped these last time, when I stamped them, and after I cut them up rather, is that I've got some with 2 flowers, some with 3. This poor guy here's only got 1, so he doesn't have a friend. And this one's got 2 as well. And I thought this time what I might do is actually score my cardstock at 4. Just lightly score it, and we're going to turn and score again at 4, and that will give me my 4 quarters, and that will give me an idea as to where I'm going to stamp. Now, to get your, oh, wrong one. I need to get your, just to give you a rough guide on where to stamp. Nothing special about this, no trickery. 3 fingers in from the corner, 2 from the edge, 3 again from the corner. Oops, 2 from the edge, 3 from the corner, 2 from the edge, and 3 from the corner, and last one, 2 from the edge. All right, and that just gives you a rough guide. So there we have it. I'll just get all my ink pads all sorted out here. All right, so to start with, I'm going to take my soft Seafoam. Guys, I'm hoping, I can't see comments unfortunately. Let me see if I can see comments. Oh, Bev. Hi, Bev. Hi, Heidi. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So, okay, here's your pine cone image. And because we're using, what we will also need tonight is, I've got an old Stamp and Pierce mat and I've covered it with one of our grid paper sheets. Because I'm using photopolymer stamps and they don't have the cushioning like the red rubber ones do, to get a better image, it's a great idea to have something underneath it to provide that cushion. So I'm using an old Stamp and Pierce mat and I've just covered it with a piece of grid paper just to keep it a little bit cleaner. And nothing fancy, actually I might just stamp off. You probably you're not going to see this too well on screen because it is such a light colour. Now this is just to add a little bit of colour into your background. Oops, I don't know whether that worked. A little bit of texture, a little bit of colour. I didn't do this on my original. In there, and we will fill this gap in here, and we will fill in this gap here, and we might go this way. All right, so there's our initial layer. And I always start my base with something really light. Okay, so now I'm going to take my cherry cobbler and our flower stamp from True Beauty, and you can kind of see here your score lines. Maybe not on camera, but I can take that away for the moment because we don't need that because I've got a red rubber stamp. Okay. So now I'm going to possibly, doesn't really matter, but we're going to stamp this 3 times and we're going to tuck those flowers right in close. And it does not matter at all if you overlap. Okay. Tuck them in really close. Twisting your stamp if you remember, so it's not all the same in the same direction. Okay, oops, got a bit of a halo. See how I've got a halo? I've pressed down too far. Too hard on my stamp, but that won't be a problem. We can fix that. All right, so there's my cherry cobbler. Now I believe the next thing I did was grab. So I like to use a stronger color for my flowers because they will be like the main kind of focus of your image. So next I went in and I did these holly leaves in mint macaron. So we will, oh no we didn't. I took this one out of, what set did that come from? Merriest Moments. So this little leaf, but I'm wondering whether I should use, I think I might actually use this one this time. That which comes out of the Christmas season stamp set, just for something a little bit different. Let's do it. Not that one, not mint macaron yet. We will do this one. So I like to look at the valleys now between the flowers. Now I call this is a valley, this is a valley, and this is a valley where they meet. So a valley, and a valley here. 1, 2, 3 valleys here, and over again here. 1, 2, 3. 3 valleys, and we're going to use first and second generation stamping. Now this is actually a little bit too long, so what I'm going to do is only ink up. I'm only going to ink up that much of my stamp, because it's just a little bit, comes out just a little bit too far. Oh, that is amazing. First and second, you don't see much of that second generation, but it's all good. Now this one over this side can be the full length of the stamp, because, and when you're stamping, when you stamp, pivot at that point and stamp again for second generation. All right, let's go again over here. So I've stamped, I don't even know whether this stamp is clean properly, but it's stained, but all right, let's go. Pivot and stamp again. Pivot and stamp again. No, I think I might, that hasn't worked too well, but that's okay. All right, because I've only got a little bit of a space there, a small amount of space, I've only stamped up that 2/3 of the way again. Pivot, and we'll go again, second generation. Right. Next. Okay, once again, because I've only got a small amount of room here, I'm not inking up all my stamp, and I'm coming in, and stamping that. Right, we're going to go a full stamp here. Half a stamp here, and the same again over here, just half an ink. There we go. Right. Okay, now we're going to find our holly leaves. That one's done, that one's done. In our mint macaron. So now this time what I'm going to do is, with our mint macaron, We're going to go into the valleys again, but we're going to go over, what I'm going to do is go over the second generation, and then we'll go up. So first, second, first, second, first, second, and this one over here. First. I might actually go this way. Second. Okay. Now there's a smaller holly leaf. I'm going to, oops, grab the middle-sized one, and I'm going to do exactly the same. First and second. The second generation stamping just gives you a little bit of depth and dimension to the stamping. So it looks like you've got something in the background. Gives the illusion, and it's great. I go this way, and then, sorry guys, I'm not looking at comments at the moment. My head is down, busy stamping. Cool. Right. So our cards are starting to come together. Right, now we're going to go up a notch and go a little bit darker and stronger in our colour. So that, and then this kind of brings out, gives the illusion that of something more closer to us in the foreground. And I'm going to use this lovely, I call them fluffy leaves, because to me they are fluffy as opposed to a more solid image. Like you've got these more solid images, and now you kind of need something that's a little bit different to add a little bit more texture. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into what we call more of the top of the mountain of the flower, which is like the other areas. So we're going to still probably going like starting from the petals, and again first and second generation, to give that illusion of depth. And what we're doing is we're starting to like fill in those gaps a little bit, even though we will be cutting them up. Now I kind of want this to come into here a bit. Don't forget the centers. Now I will just half, oh no, hang on. When I want to stamp on the outside of here and only use a smaller section of my stamp and ink pad, what I do is I go to the corner, and that will give me a V, like it'll still give me a leaf shape, but it won't give me as large an image. Right. Kind of feel like, oh, let me see. Not quite sure whether I need to add a bit more here. Let me see. Maybe don't ever be afraid to stamp over the stamps that you've already got, because that all adds to the illusion of depth and dimension. Can't say that enough. Right, what's next? We are going to grab Evening Evergreen, and we're going to grab this cute little trio of leaves here, still using your piercing mat underneath, and we're going to just now fill in the spaces that are around the outside of our of our flowers. And again, first and second generation, I can't stress that enough, because oops, let's go this way. Let me see. Fill in all those spaces. Highlighting, by adding this darker color around the outside of your flowers, you're actually highlighting those flowers, giving them a little bit of definition. me see, what have I got here? Now I've kind of got these areas in here that I need to fill, so I might just go in with this in here, kind of fills in those gaps really well. Adds a little bit of foliage to the centers. I don't know, might just stamp that on, put that in there. I think that's kind of it for that. Now, to bring in a little bit of colour, I'm going to use Balmy Blue and this pretty little trio of flowers here. Just take that out because we're using red rubber. And just around the outside now I'm going to be using this. There's not a lot of white space, but there'll be just enough to bring in that little bit of colour. Just a sneaky little bit of colour there, and you think, oh, look at that, there are flowers there. I really want to put some in here to try and fill that gap up in there. What have I got here? It's almost like you're putting the dottage on that we all like to do when we stamp this way. Our stamping isn't complete at all without that little bit of dottage. And I think that's just about it. Not sure. Anyway, all right. Less is more, more is less. Okay, kind of like where that's gone. Now, last but not least, we're going to add some dottage. My lovely sweet friend Glenna will be once again proud of me, and I'm going to use this lovely dottage stamp here from Merriest Moments. Mine's quite stained because I've used it a lot. Now, normally you would use your strongest colour, but I will give you a tip. It's not a great idea to use any of the red tones because it can kind of look like blood and like you've just murdered someone. So I think for this I'm going to grab my Evening Evergreen. Now, the role of putting dottage on your stamping is to soften those lines a bit, cover any boo-boos, fill in any gaps. Not too sure whether this is going to be the right colour, but oh, I need my mat. Oh, my help. All right, so I'm filling in all the gaps between the flowers, going around the outside just to soften twisting my stamp as I go so it's not the same. Filling in those gaps. Covering the ends where the stems come into your flowers, covering those up if need be. Let me see. Put a little bit more over in here. And I think that's just about, that could just about be it. Right, so that's pretty much it, guys, for the stamping. Oh, I've got stamps and ink pads here everywhere, which could be dangerous. All right, so now what I'm going to do is chop this up. And truth be told, I think my cherry cobbler ink pad probably needs a lot of re-inking. It's looking quite pale there. So I'm going to trim this. I'm going to go back to the 4-inch mark. Trim. Two together. Trim. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe decide individually now which sides that I would like to take off, and this has got to come down so that I can fit it on a card base that measures 4 by 4. So I'm hoping that's right. Okay, so my card bases: crumb cake card base, cherry cobbler, matte layer, really fine layer. I've a fine border. These are 4 by 4. These are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so let me trim these down. Not quite sure which way I'm going to go here. Possibly this way, I think. Whoops. Keep these bits because you can use these bits to do the inside of your cards. Decorate them. Go this way this time. And you can see by marking your quarters, it's just makes it easier. Or you don't have to, you can, if you can remember to do it without marking, scoring, by all means. Okay. I really think I need to re-ink my cherry cobbler. All right, so I'm really not, I don't think I'm going to do all these tonight, but I'll show you one. Oops, that's not even on there. Come on, move. Not quite straight, but that'll do. And then, oh, on these ones I've added a little bit of twine. I think that will probably go that way into that corner. So let's I'll add this on first. Do a bow. Oh, missed that completely. Whoops. Oh. Did I get that? Yes, just. Ooh. Snips. And what I'll do is I'll add my greeting. I won't do that tonight. I just wanted to really show you how to do the stamping. What am I looking for? Glue. See, I'm right in front of my nose. Okay, now a card base. We've got a card base. Make sure it's the right way. Really, really fine borders, but it's just, that's all you need, something elegant. And there's your card. Now, I have gone and added pearls to the centers of mine over here, but I'll do that after I put my sentiments on my label. There you have it. And these little bits, if you've got little bits, you can add these, trim down a piece of Whisper White and add them to across the bottom of your cardstock if you so desire, if you don't want to waste them. But there's your cards. Yeah, so that's it for me for tonight. Basically, I wanted to show you that, not sure how long I've been, but we've made full cards. Like we've stamped an 8x8 piece of cardstock, and we were able to make 4 cards that'll go on here. So, doing it in doing an A4 size sheet will give you more cards. Let me see if I can find one that I have actually made with Ruth recently. Oh, where are we? All right, so I made this one. I did a class with Ruth a little while ago. And Ruth Trice does Zoom classes. And what I've done is I've made templates out of vellum. to see how it would work cut up. So this one, so you can, by stamping an A4, you've got enough to make possibly 6 cards there, and that's roughly 3 by 3, give or take. You can go and do, you've got 4 slim lines, or you've got 4 regular card fronts. You can use 4 regular card fronts, or 8. Like there's 8 pieces. You can trim that down to 8 and use each, maybe not so much this end, but you could definitely get quite a few cards out of that. And that's why I love this technique so much, is that you can stamp and then create a batch of cards in the time that it's a very efficient way of making a large batch of cards. So right, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, is there any questions? I can't see any. I can't see any comments. Can't see your comments. Where are they? Let me see. I'm just bringing the comments up on my laptop, maybe. No. Oh, good evening, Dell and Nikki and Diana. Bronwyn Stewart, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Cool. Lovely. All right, that's it for me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them via Messenger or however, through my Facebook page. If you're interested in purchasing any of the products that I have shown tonight, if you go to monicaformosastampingup.net, I have a store, an online store where you can purchase these products from Stamping Up. Customer service is second to none when you're a Stamping Up demonstrator. I love to help people use their products, and I don't like people buying things and then just getting them home and thinking, well, what next? What do I do next? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you use those products that you purchased. So if you're stuck, please let me know. Okay, so all right then, I'm going to head off. Good night. Oh, before I go, I won't be here tomorrow night. I won't be here next week. I'm off to Brisbane. My daughter has kindly invited me along for some wedding dress shopping. My youngest daughter is getting married in August 2023. So we're getting together with her and her bigger sister, and we'll be doing some wedding dress shopping. Give me patience right now, because I think it's going to be quite stressful. Anyway, it'll all be good in the long run, I'm sure. So, but yeah, won't be here next week. Just thought I'd give you all a heads up. So have a great week, and we will see you possibly in 2 weeks' time, all being good. All right. Bye for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Catch you later. Bye.